In this video, we will see how to calculate the popularity percentage of different users on a social media platform. So our question is, find the popularity percentage for each user on Meta or Facebook platform. The popularity percentage is defined as total number of friends for the user divided by the total number of users on the platform. And then finally we have to convert the result into percentage by multiplying with 100. And there is one more condition: output each user along with their popularity percentage. So the final result should have two columns. The first column is user id and the second column is popularity percentage for each users. And one more condition is there, that is order results in ascending order by user id. So that is our final condition. So for this I have created a table called as facebook underscore friends. Let me query the table and let us see the schema. So we have a table with two columns. The first column is user 1 and the second column is user 2. And this column tells us who are the friends of different users. For example, friend 1 is a sorry, user 1 is a friend of user 2. Similarly, user 4 is a friend of user 1. And coming down, we can see that again 5 is a friend of user 1 and 6 is a friend of user 1. And when we look at the entire table, we can see that user 1 is having 4 friends, which are 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. Sorry, not 4 friends, 5 friends. So these are the friends of user 1. Similarly, we have to count the number of friends for each users. So let us start writing the query for the same. So the first part is to count the number of friends for each users. So we'll start with a select clause user 1 and give an alias name as users. And now we have to count the number of distinct users with respect to user 2 column. Distinct user 2 column as friend count. So we'll give the column name as friend count, and this is taken from the table Facebook underscore friends. Let us copy the table name, and finally we have to give a group by clause based on the user 1 column. Now we have completed the first part with respect to user 1 column. Similarly, we have to do the same query to user 2 column, and then we have to count the number of friends with respect to user 2 column also. So let us run this part of the query and see what is the result we are getting. So taking user 1 column in this query, we get the friend count as 3 corresponding to user 1, 2 corresponding to user 2. Similarly, 3, 4, 7 and 8 are having 1 users each. And now the same query we have to repeat for user 2 column. So let us copy this query, paste it here, and the only change we have to make here is make this user 1 user 2, and now we have to count the number of distinct users based on user 1 column, and also change the group by clause based on user 2 column. Now this query will count the number of distinct users based on user 2 column. So this is the number of friends based on the user 2 column. So we have computed the number of users, sorry, number of friends based on user 1 column and user 2 column. Now we have to combine the result of both this query. So here what we have to do is we have to append the result. So we will use a union all clause. Now execute this and we will get a appended result where we can see that users and friend count is in separate column. But we have to aggregate the user count, sorry, friend count based on each user ID. For that, we will place this query inside a CTE first with T1 as, place this inside a CTE, write a select clause outside the parenthesis, taking CTE1 as the reference or T1 as the reference, that is users is the first column. Now we are going to use the aggregate function, which is sum, and the second column is friend underscore count. So friend underscore count as total friends. Now this is taken from the CTE T1, and finally write a group by clause based on the users column. Now execute this and let us see what is the result. Starting from the CTE, execute this Now this table gives us the number of friends for each users. So now we can see that user 1 has 5 friends, user 2 has 3 friends, user 2 has 3 friends, user 3 has 3 friends. Similarly, till user 9 we have counted the number of total friends. Now we have to find the number of total users from the table. From this table itself, it is obvious that the number of total users is 9. So for that, in the same query, we will write one more column, that is, here we are going to use another concept called as subquery within column specification. So inside the parenthesis, select count of distinct users. Now from the table T1, close the parenthesis, and this is the total users, and this will give us a new column where the total users will be the sum of individual users within the table. So we'll execute this once again. We can see that one new column will be created with total users. Execute this, and the number of total users is created in a separate column. Now we have to divide the total users and total friends column. That is, total friends divided by total users will give us the popularity percentage. So in the same query, we will take that as a separate column. So sum of friends, copy this, paste it here, divide by the query within the column specification, copy and paste it here as popularity underscore percentage. Now execute this and let us see what is the result. Now we are having some error, incorrect syntax near T1. Sorry, it's because we have a query before the CTE. So this query should be terminated with a semicolon. So instead of that, let us comment this query out. So now if we run this, we will get the result. We haven't made any change to our query, but the error was because there was a query before the common table expression query, which should be terminated with a semicolon. But instead of terminating it with a semicolon, I just commented out the query. So we have only one query to run in this file, which is the CTE query. Execute this and we have the result. Now we have the popularity percentage as 0 here because we have to convert this numerator part into a float. So for that, we will use the cast function, cast sum of friends as float, and finally we will multiply this with 100, and we'll place this inside a parenthesis. Now once we execute this, we will get the result. Execute, and we can see that we have the popularity percentage. But one more thing we will do here, we will round the result to 2 decimal places. Round, comma 2. So execute this and we have the popularity percentage as a separate column along with users, total friends, total users, and finally popularity percentage, which is rounded to 2 decimal places. And there is one more condition which is given in our query, that is we have to order the final result based on the user ID. So we will take user ID column here in the order by clause, order by users in ascending order. Also in the final result we require only two columns, which are user ID column and the popularity percentage. The total friends column and the total users column can be removed in our final result. Execute this and finally we will have our result where we have users and the popularity percentage of each users. Now we have obtained our expected output. Thank you.